Part two here. Part two. Folks, they are distracting you. The Republicans got their hand out. They want you to vote for Romney, who's controlled by the CIA, who's funneling drug money into Cayman Islands. Yeah, they've got then you've got Obama over here, who's already setting up the whole police state. They're setting up for the riots, and they've got the NDA in time for the November elections. The people out that really truly love freedom and want something happening here are going to be voting for Ron Paul. They're trying to take over some of the conventions. There's going to be violence there. They're going to set it up. They're going to make it happen. And the ones throwing the first stones are going to be the communists pretending to be freedomizer. We've even had somebody go out and buy a Jew boy go out and buy the freeamericanradio.com. Yeah, go ahead. Try to do that. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to discredit me. They're going to try to stop me. And every politician that's out there asking you to send them a donation to vote for them, if they're a Republican or a Democrat, is simply draining you of your resources. What we need to be doing, I think, is restoring the self-sufficient family farm, getting together, working together, doing exactly what they're attempting to do with the tiny Texas houses. You know, if you want a Hispanic community, fine, create one. Be productive. Make it work. We can help people make it work. We can make that. We can make that. And this is maybe the only way. And you can laugh about it and say you don't have the money. The money is how they are doing all of this money for advertising. These hundreds of thousands of dollars, billions of dollars going for advertising for political candidates. Is that you, David? Hello, David. 310 area code. Hello. Yes, sir. I wanted to, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, you are running for president. You would like to run for president. You've signed up with a couple of places. But we're talking about billions of dollars being spent, and it's being given to the people that own the press. The people that own the press are the same people that own the banks, the people that loaned you the money to buy that newspaper. That's yeah, I'm here. This whole thing here, this political process has been so polluted. We don't know where our votes are going. They're changing them. The computers are changing them, and you're not even being told. You are not being told who is running. Nobody's going to tell. No, they're not going to tell you that you're running for president. Nobody's going to tell you. Well, see, I'm against that. What I am saying is, look, if you get a smaller house, if you live in a tiny Texas house or a teepee or a yurt, you know, and there's people out there that are building their own yurts. All you got to do is with some plastic and twist ties and 2 inch strips, you can build your walls in a day, and you know, you can. In other words, if we get back to some basics here and get back to the farm, it's the farm issue, and this is why I am really suggesting that you are a ideal candidate, not only coming from the common man, but coming from a farming background and understanding that the self-sufficient family farm is the basis of all humanity. If the trucks start running tomorrow and you can generate your own electricity and your own food at your house, now what's happening? They don't want the self-sufficiency. They have passed laws. You know, you got to chip your chickens. You know, the animal identification system. Well, we've certainly been putting the wrong people in jail as president. Now let's talk about this. We had two presidential candidates in the mainstream talk about legalizing marijuana. And I personally believe that, first of all, the communists came over here and made it illegal to grow hemp in this country, but it was okay in China or Russia. Well, they also have banned, it's a threat to national security to build a magnetic generator. They don't want you, they want to discourage you from putting solar or wind on your house by making it too expensive. You know, in other words, they're kicking up the price of sand. Well, on a very practical level, right now, if we went back to cottage industries, growing our own food, having a hands-on basis of our own survival, and if you're growing, if you don't mind growing chickens and wringing one of them's neck, you got food on the table. Come on. And now, if what about this whole drug thing? We have more people in prison right now. Most of them for a victimless crime. Most of them for a victimless crime. There's been no corpus delicti there. There's been no crime committed other than some government telling you you can't grow that in your backyard. Now, what would you do about that? I mean, if all of these people were somehow suddenly not criminals anymore, we could clear out our prison. I mean, we've got people who've never hurt anybody that have been put in jail over something they had in their pocket. How about that? What? And they've tried to keep them from owning firearms. They've tried to keep them from voting. They've tried to isolate the rebels. These are the rebels. These are the people that didn't go along. What do you mean? What do you mean? Pot's bad for you. I've smoked it. There ain't nothing wrong with it. You know. You know what? What if we start a campaign for anybody that's running on an independent platform to let's put together a little platform. First of all, abolish the laws against victimless crimes. Abolish that. We don't need you if there's no crime. If you don't have a victim, you don't have a crime. And then restore hemp to our farmers so we've got a product that you can make 10,000 products out of that. We restore that. And what about the border situation? Now we want the border protected, but if you could go to the border and trade a little bit of hemp for a little bit of cocaine from somebody that came up, you know, and you don't have the customs, you don't have, you just, sorry, you can't come over, you can't come into our country without some paperwork. How about that? How would you handle the border? We've got millions of illegal aliens in here. They're responsible for at least 50,000 deaths since 9/11. Most, I have theories about that, David. God stay, I pray, show us a way so in hell our souls won't burn. Yeah, your God doesn't care. My burden he doesn't share, yet still of me you say beware. Of hell you shouldn't care. You can't go, 'cause you were there. And you stay till you pay, as men, not more. But that was for my esoteric period about 40 years ago. Yeah, actually, you want to hear something from my esoteric period? Since I'm just fucking around today and don't really care. I don't have a guest. You know, and now I wrote this basically as a warning to Lynn. From 40 years before I met her, but I can watch you at work while I am away. I know what you're doing while you're at play. I know who you see. I know where you go. There's no mountain so high or valley so low that could hide you from me, the man that knows. Now, you should have thought twice before you made love to me. Now you're mine through all eternity. I look like a man, but that's how it goes. As sure as you are that the morning sun's rose, sure am I the man that knows. Now, you might call me man, you might call me God. Even the devil would get you a nod. I've been called Pan in times long ago. I've also been known as a man called Mose. But names mean so little to the man that knows. As Solomon the king built a temple to God, as God I gave Solomon a magic rod to call up the demons from hell down below, and I called them myself for gifts to bestow on the man who has everything, the man that knows. All right, that's a sample. That's a sample. Well, it is, and the novels that I wrote 40 years ago was about marijuana being legal all except Texas. Today, it's legal in New Mexico. It's legal in Arizona. It's legal in California. Yeah, if you go out and beg a doctor, pay a doctor to get a prescription. You know, I am against that. I am against that. But we are right now. They are trying to demonize the veterans. The oath keepers. They are really getting us set up. They produce more ways to kill us. More people die from prescription drugs and all the meth and cocaine and heroin that come into the country. So, and certainly more people die from cigarettes and alcohol than any illegal drugs. So why are we paying $50,000 a year to put somebody in jail for something they had in their pocket? What is the point in that? Why are they doing that? Oh well, let's see. Now, folks, if you think what they did in Russia to the Cold War, I mean, they did this to Russian people. They killed 40 million Russian people, and then they made them our enemy. Russia was our friend. The Russian people have always been our friend. The German people have always been our friend. We're more Germans over here. And they demonized the Russians, they demonized the Germans, then they demonized the Russians, now they're demonizing the militia, now they're demonizing anybody that's talking about freedom. They're trying to say Ron Paul is anti-Semitic, for God's sake. Well, the whole concept of Liberty Villages, you can build a house for half the cost of buying one. You can cut the size in half by and it's exactly what he has done in the tiny Texas houses is exactly what I envisioned 10 years ago in the Liberty Villages that I wanted to put. I figure somebody's driving down the street, they see a bunch of these old cabins, old looking cabins, they would want to pull in and stay there. And I still believe that's work, and I believe that's what we're going to be able to do in the tiny Texas town, the tiny Texas houses. I think we're going to create our own town there. We're going to show people what it's going to be like to be self-sufficient. We're going to put solar up there. We've got it all available. So, if you want to take part in there, so you can buy the house, you can move the house, you can build it, we can build and move the house, or you can put it there and make some money off of it. Now, these houses are available. We've got the films up right there on my website on the Tiny Texas Houses. You can see the craftsmanship, the work, and personally, I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go to Austin and compete with Alex Jones. I want to go to Ride the Hill Country. I want to go hang out at Hippie Hollow, get naked and hang out at Hippie Hollow, getting all over tan, and so that's exactly what I plan on doing. And this radio show, folks, the film. Now that I've got help here, the films are better. Look at the website. Look at the videos. Well, look at the videos. I mean, I can't even. I don't. If I could figure out how to share the screen, I would do that. But I don't know how to do that. There's one. Anyway, the whole Kaminsky thing. I featured the art of Skip Baker on that, and that's and then okay, and there's a link for the tiny houses. It's all up on YouTube now. Brag to tell. Only one He was. He is a good guy. He's smart. And it is a good way to do this. I mean, I think to go. We could go into Detroit and either dismantle or rebuild the big old houses there, the big old apartment buildings that deteriorated, and make them self-sufficient. No, I think that asshole is Kedgy. Ted wouldn't say you fuck, but let's see. I've got some. He'll come back in. So he'll come back in there. I got something for him now. I got something. Yeah, well, that's people have asked me why do you hate the Jews. I said I don't really hate them. I almost admire them, man. If us white boys had this together as them, we'd own the Federal Reserve. We'd be issuing the money, and life would be a lot better for the majority of the people instead of a minority. It were the Jews that killed Christ. It was the Jews that killed the 40 million Russians during the Bolshevik Revolution. It was the Jews that started communism. It was the Jews that had the plan for global government under their Luciferian leader with the protocols of the Elders of Zion discovered, 150 years ago. Don't really matter who wrote it, does it? What matters is who's using it today. But he wasn't. He wasn't. He was described by Pontius Pilate as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man. Come on. This is the tribe of David. This is the tribe of David. And we crossed the Caucasus Mountains. The tribe of Israel crossed the Caucasus Mountains. This is a part of Christian identity, I believe. I don't necessarily buy into the dual seed line, because the dual seed line thing, the concept that Jews are descended from the devil, I don't buy into that. I don't know who my grandmother slept with. Yours slept with a Jew. You know, I mean, I don't like you any less for that. Yeah, I'm sure. I never took notes. You know. Oh, that's right. I wasn't around. I wasn't around. I would hope so. But now, remember, folks, what we're talking about in the Liberty Village thing. All you got to do is send an application. Fill out an application. Tell me what you're interested in. You want to move? You want to live in a certain place? Do you want to do anything like this? Do you want to be self-sufficient? Do you want to help? Do you want to? Do you got to land? What do you want to do? If we don't work together, we will all hang alone. I mean, come on. This is what it's about. But most of your groups out there have been infiltrated and taken over. And oh, let's see, should we donate to the Obama advertising campaign, which will enrich the networks, but it won't do the people a damn bit of good? Or should we donate to the Romney campaign, because we don't want to talk about Ron Paul over there and the Republicans? Romney, I mean, that's a Mossad asset anyway. You know, he's in the drug business and all that. So, what do we do? If you supported me and David here rather than any of these other people out there, you might have a shot. We might have a shot, because I don't have an agenda here. I am not working for the Jewish mafia. I am not working for the CIA. I want to see drugs legal, as does Ron Paul and Gary Johnson. This is the only thing that makes sense if you don't want a police state. So it became a police state when they told you couldn't grow that pot plant in your front yard. It became a police state. You know? We can change that, folks, and you can change it by getting back and becoming self-sufficient. If you become self-sufficient, you in your house, in your neighborhood, and you tell your neighbors about it, we start taking the money away. We start getting our energy and our power from God, not from the government, not from the utilities companies. This is a way to do that. This is a way. This is an opportunity you can do that. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye now.